Welcome back, everybody. So into our question of the day.
Indeed, and the countdown is well and truly on now. So with 1 week to go until the local government elections next week this time, have you decided who gets your vote and why?
Pretty simple at this point. I mean, a week to go. I suppose anything can change between now and next week, but I got a feeling that I think you've probably by now made a decision as to who you're going to cast that vote for, and I suppose there is a reason why, or maybe there isn't. Maybe it's just the way you vote all the time, and you're going to continue to do that, and that's just the way it'll be. So it'll be quite interesting to hear from you. We're not asking you necessarily who you're voting for, but if you want to tell us, you can go for it. But that's not the question. The question is, have you decided, and why have you decided on that particular vote? So looking forward to hearing from you.
Right, at Morning Live SABC is where you can send us those responses. Let's take a look at the trending topics now. Well.
Sure. Wow.
Where shall we start?
Well,
Hashtag Man United.
I mean, I can start on the sidelines of all of this because I'm not. Yeah, you see, you did it. That was not fair.
I did that.
Okay, let me go.
That was the picture of the day.
Let me explain something to you. This is the first time I've ever owned any football shirt ever, and guess who gave it to me as a birthday present? The one and only Sakina Kamando. So I now officially am a Liverpool supporter, whether I like it or not. I have the T-shirt. So we arrived home yesterday. We'd been out for lunch, and then we came back, and of course we had to get home for the match. I mean, I didn't really care either way. But so I thought, okay, I'm going to wear the T-shirt because I have to wear the T-shirt. Well, I mean, the family support Liverpool, so I've got to go and I put the T-shirt on. The minute I walked in the room, they didn't stop scoring goals. It was like one after the next. I'm like, what is this? This is ridiculous. I mean, I've never seen anything quite like that. And then it never ended. So, yeah, So the family is convinced you must keep wearing the shirt. Well, I mean, it's a gratitude of thanks to you. I mean, I think it's you giving me a shirt to wear, and that's why Liverpool.
I can't believe I gave you a Liverpool shirt.
Neither can I, and I couldn't believe I was wearing it on top of it all. But I did. But listen.
It made your son happy, so
that's it. What happened yesterday? That is the lowest of the low. Surely you can't get worse than that. On your home ground to be that embarrassed.
In a nutshell. So at the beginning of the season, Arsenal lost 3 matches on the trot at the beginning of the season. We were mighty relegation candidates.
Yes.
And Man United were, of course, title contenders. Guess what? We're on the same number of points.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe it?
It's embarrassing. No, I really feel for Man United fans. I really do, because then it started getting...
Vusiwe.
She's a big fan.
She is a Man United fan. Sorry,
she is. I've never seen people speak about a coach getting rid of the coach at halftime.
No, we don't want to get rid of him.
You want to keep him there?
No. You see, Ole must stay. We want Ole. He's wonderful. He knows it will come together at some point. He must, like they tell us with Arteta, trust the process, guys.
Trust the
process.
Wow.
Yes, there's a plan somewhere there. Ole in, not Ole out.
Okay, but this is a very personal. I mean, I think this is just now this is another side of you speaking. I don't think a Man United person would do. I mean, they got like what? How many? 4 yellow cards, a red card, 5 goals that were given by Liverpool. I mean, this was just.
Wouldn't you feel bad if you were losing?
A dismal performance, and then of course Ronaldo. I mean, he was just. I kind of hated seeing what I saw on the field.
Disintegrated.
It really disintegrated quite badly, because I mean, when I saw him, who was he kicking on the ground? Sorry, that player.
I was already on the road.
Oh, you were.
But I saw highlights of it.
He was trying to get the ball, but he was kicking the player, and it looked like 3 times, and then it should have been a red card, shouldn't have. And anyway, he took to Instagram afterwards, and he just apologized. Not apologized. He just said, this is not fair to fans. We should never have gone this.
Mo Salah should have been right up there, but of course things are so bad at United that Mo didn't make it. But of course, a hat trick yesterday, and he's just in a purple patch.
I know, it's amazing. I mean, the best part for me was when Peter Drury was saying that it literally looks like Old Trafford is a training ground for Liverpool right now. They were just kicking the ball to one another. It was just...
it's their turn.
It was terrible.
It's their turn.
Okay, Nando's. This has been trending since last week, and it hasn't stopped. It's not letting up, so it all goes together with Gareth Clough, and it was just a dismal showing.
It was a disaster. It was pathetic.
Terrible.
it was all sorts of wrong, all sorts of tone deaf,
Yeah.
and it really was pathetic what happened on the show. But Nando's trending because they were actually the
Sponsors of this talk show, I think. I don't know,
exactly,
whatever it was,
with
yeah.
Gareth Cliff, on which Gareth Cliff basically just dismissed the lived experience of a young black woman, saying to her it's anecdotal, nobody really cares.
Nobody really cares, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
guess what? People do care. And they care so much that Nando's had to care as well.
Yeah.
And pulled the sponsorship on the show.
They did. I mean, it's just been, the backlash from this interview has been massive, and it's just been not only that, but also the backlash towards John Steenhuisen as well hasn't been favourable in his position, because many people saying that he was just sitting on watching this happening with a smirk on his face. So that's what a lot of people were looking at and saying it was unacceptable in every single which way it was, and it's Mudzuli Rakibane, who was in this interview from One SA Movement, and it was, I mean, she certainly held her own, and she tried as much as she could to, stand up and speak for herself and for her situation that she wanted to explain, but they were having none of it. So, well, particularly Gareth Cliff. So it was just in poor taste, and not something you want to be watching right now. So no winners in that particular instance, really isn't. But yeah, so everyone's still talking to that one.
Right, and that's where we're going to leave it for those trending topics. And of course, coming up with just a few days left before we go to the polls, we'll be getting some analysis. And Kosipulule Nyembezi will be our guest and just helping us unpack further some of the election-related stuff.
See you after this.